You have been doing everything right. You cut the sugar. You started walking every morning. You swapped the fries for salads. And yet, when you step on that scale, it barely moves. Maybe it even went up. And you're standing there thinking, what is wrong with me? Why is this not working? I need you to hear something right now. Nothing is wrong with you. But there is one specific mistake that is silently blocking your progress, and almost no one is talking about it. It is not about eating too much. It is not about skipping the gym. It is something much more sneaky than that. And once you understand it, everything is going to start making a lot more sense. Stay with me, because what comes next might be the most important thing you hear all year. And if you're the kind of person who actually wants real answers about your health and your body, then you are in the right place. Hit that like button and subscribe to my channel right now so you never miss a video like this one. Okay, now let us get into it. Let me tell you about a woman named Dana. Dana is 42 years old. She has been trying to lose weight for the better part of a decade. She has tried low carb, low fat, high protein, juice cleanses, you name it. Every Monday, she starts fresh with full motivation. Every Friday, she is frustrated and exhausted and back to square one. Sound familiar? What Dana did not know, and what most people never find out, is that her body had quietly switched into a mode where fat loss was basically off the table. Not because she was eating the wrong foods exactly, but because of something happening at a hormonal level that her diet plan never even considered. And that is exactly what we are going to unpack today. Here is the core truth that the diet industry does not want to put on a label. Your body is not a calculator. It is not simply a matter of calories in versus calories out, even though that is what we have been told for decades. Your body is a living, breathing, constantly adapting system, and its number one priority is not to make you look good in a swimsuit. Its number one priority is to keep you alive. So when you cut your food too low or push yourself too hard for too long, your body reads that situation as danger, not a wellness plan, actual danger, and it responds accordingly. It slows down your metabolism. It pumps out hormones that make you hungry all the time. It holds on to body fat like it is the most precious resource on earth, because from your body's perspective, it is. This survival response has a name. Scientists call it metabolic adaptation, and it is one of the most well-documented and least talked about phenomena in weight loss research. A landmark study that followed contestants from a popular weight loss television show found that years after the competition ended, their metabolisms had slowed down dramatically, far more than would be expected from their body size alone. Their bodies had adapted so aggressively to the calorie restriction that even eating a normal amount of food caused them to gain weight back. These were people who had been extremely disciplined, extremely motivated, and their own biology worked against them because of the approach they used. Now, here is where the big mistake lives, and this is the part I really want you to sit with. The number one fat loss mistake is not eating too much. It is chronically eating too little while simultaneously overloading your body with stress. Those two things together create a perfect storm inside your hormonal system that makes fat loss nearly impossible, no matter how hard you try. Let me explain what is actually happening inside your body when this occurs, because once you see it clearly, you will never look at dieting the same way again. When your calorie intake drops too low for too long, your body reduces production of a hormone called leptin. Leptin is produced by your fat cells, and it is basically the messenger that tells your brain the body has enough energy stored and it is safe to burn fat. When leptin is high and functioning properly, your metabolism stays active, your hunger stays manageable, and your body willingly releases stored fat for fuel. But when you undereat, leptin crashes. And when leptin crashes, your brain receives a completely different message. It thinks you are running out of resources. So it dials back your metabolism, it cranks up your appetite, and it makes your body cling to every calorie you consume. Research published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism showed that just 3 days of significant calorie restriction was enough to cause a measurable drop in leptin levels. 3 days. That is how fast your body starts adapting. And that is only half of the equation. The other half is stress. Most people who are trying to lose weight are already living incredibly stressful lives. They are sleeping 5 or 6 hours a night. They are juggling work and family and 100 responsibilities. They are emotionally drained. And then, on top of all of that, they add intense daily workouts and strict meal restriction. Every single one of those stressors triggers your body to release cortisol. Cortisol is your primary stress hormone, and it is brilliant at keeping you alive in emergencies. But when it stays elevated day after day, it does something very specific and very frustrating. It tells your body to store fat, especially in the abdominal area. A study from Yale University found a direct link between high perceived stress levels and increased deep belly fat storage, even in otherwise healthy and lean individuals. Stress alone, without any dietary changes, can cause your body to hold onto fat. So you have got leptin working against you and cortisol working against you at the same time, and most diets address neither one of them. They just tell you to eat less and push harder, which makes both problems worse. This is the cycle that keeps so many people stuck for years. And since we are halfway through and this is getting really good, if this is already clicking for you and you are seeing your own patterns in what I am describing, go ahead and drop a comment below and tell me which part hit home the most. And if you have not subscribed yet, now is a great time. This channel is built for people who want to understand the real science behind what is happening in their bodies, not just another list of foods to avoid. Now, let us talk about what actually works, because this is where it gets empowering. The solution is not about eating more junk or skipping the gym. It is about working with your biology instead of constantly fighting against it. The first thing that needs to shift is how you think about food. Instead of seeing food as the enemy or as something to be restricted, you need to start seeing it as information. Every meal you eat sends a signal to your brain. When you eat enough balanced nutrition, the signal your brain receives is that the environment is safe and abundant. And in a safe and abundant environment, your body is willing to release stored fat. When you chronically undereat, the signal is scarcity and danger. And in scarcity and danger, your body hoards everything it has. Practically speaking, this means eating enough protein at every single meal. Protein is not just for people trying to build muscle. Protein is the single most important macronutrient for fat loss because it keeps leptin more stable, it preserves your metabolism, it controls hunger hormones far better than carbs or fat alone, and your body actually burns more calories digesting it compared to other nutrients. Research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that increasing protein intake to around 30% of total calories significantly increased metabolic rate and reduced overall calorie intake naturally, without people feeling deprived or restricted. That is the kind of result that comes from working with your biology. The second piece is addressing the cortisol problem directly. This means sleep has to become a priority, not a luxury. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, which is one of the most powerful natural fat-burning and muscle-preserving compounds your body produces. A study from the University of Chicago found that participants who slept only 5.5 hours per night lost 55% less fat compared to those sleeping 8.5 hours, even though both groups were on identical diets. Same food, completely different fat loss results, just because of sleep. If you are cutting calories and skipping sleep, you are essentially running a race with your shoes tied together and wondering why you keep falling. The third piece is rethinking exercise. More is not always better, especially if your body is already under significant hormonal stress. Long daily cardio sessions actually spike cortisol significantly, particularly when your body is in a calorie deficit. Strength training at moderate intensity is far more effective in this situation because it builds metabolically active muscle tissue, which increases your resting metabolism over time, and it does not trigger the same cortisol response as excessive cardio. You do not have to destroy yourself in the gym to lose fat. In fact, destroying yourself in the gym might be one of the things that has been holding you back. There is also one more piece of this puzzle that almost nobody brings up, and it is one of the most fascinating areas of current research: Your gut microbiome, the trillions of bacteria living in your digestive system, plays a direct role in how your body processes and stores fat. Studies from Washington University found that people with certain gut bacteria profiles were extracting significantly more calories from the same foods compared to people with healthier microbiome diversity. Processed food, artificial sweeteners, antibiotics, and chronic calorie restriction all damage your gut bacteria. Meanwhile, fiber-rich whole foods, fermented foods like yogurt and kimchi and kefir, and consistent eating patterns all support the kind of gut environment where your metabolism works more efficiently and fat loss becomes more natural. This is why two people can eat the same diet and get completely different results. Their internal environments are different. So let us bring this all together. The number one fat loss mistake is not eating too much. It is undereating combined with chronic stress, poor sleep, and hormonal disruption that keeps your body permanently locked in survival mode. The fix is not another crash diet. The fix is creating an internal environment where your body feels safe enough to let go of stored fat. That means eating enough of the right foods, protecting your sleep, managing your stress intentionally, choosing exercise that supports your hormonal health rather than tanks it, and giving your gut the environment it needs to work for you instead of against you. If this video shifted something in how you see your body and why you have been struggling, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. There are so many people out there working incredibly hard and getting nowhere, not because they lack dedication, but because nobody ever gave them the real picture. And if you have a friend or a family member who has been going in circles with their weight, send them this video. It might be exactly what changes everything for them. The body is not your enemy. It has never been your enemy. It has just been trying to protect you the whole time. And now that you understand how it works, you can finally start working with it. That is where the real transformation begins.